In this video, I'm going to share with you how I usually plan my group trips to ultimately save me time, avoid group frustrations, and create a positive experience that everyone in the group enjoys. Hi, my name is Annie, and I'm the founder and CEO at MiTravel, where we are reimagining the group travel planning experience. Going on vacation is always something to look forward to, especially when traveling with a group of people, be it with your friends, family, or work colleagues. However, planning for that whole trip may not be the most easiest nor walk in the park experience. If you traveled with a group before, you probably recall experiencing at some point A, group conflicts where certain members have different opinions or tastes of where to go, what to do, eat, or see. Or B, information falling through the cracks despite the constant back and forth communication. Or at worst, everyone not being able to come to a mutual consensus, which leads to a group trip being ultimately cancelled. I've personally been there and understand how much of a pain that can be, especially when all you wanted to do was to have fun. This is why today I'm sharing my 5 tips of how you can plan an enjoyable group vacation stress-free. Tip number 1, discuss group dynamics. Every group consists of many different types of personalities. While this may work for everyday gatherings, when it comes to vacation, it could be a bit different. Not everyone likes the same type of activities or experiences, which may often be a problem when planning for a group vacation and going on the group trip together. Therefore, it is crucial to discuss your group dynamics before going on a trip together. You can ask each other questions like, how do you like to spend time on vacation? Do we want to have a more chill vacation, or are we following a strict itinerary? Do we want to go on adventures, or do we want to mostly party and focus on the nightlife? Or are we open to a balanced mix of the two? Do we all have to go everywhere together, or can some of us skip excursions that we don't like and go ahead on our own? Are we interested in meeting and bringing along other people during the trip, or do we prefer not to invite random people we meet on the trip into our group? These are just a couple of questions to give you a sense of what to ask. You can always add or subtract the questions based on what works for you and your group. The most important thing is to make sure that everyone answers all the questions, so everyone in the group has a good understanding and idea of how the vacation will look like. It's important to plan a group trip that everybody enjoys, which means don't force someone to do something that they don't like, and don't try to persuade someone not to do something that they were looking forward to doing for the trip. Think balance. Tip number 2, set the budget. To plan a group vacation and make it work, you will have to settle on a budget. As not everyone makes the same amount of money, it is important to be considerate of one another. Ask your group how much they are willing to spend on this vacation, specifically accommodation, flight ticket, food, excursions, and so forth. Whether you are provided with an exact number or a range, this budget will provide you and everyone with a better idea on where the money is going towards. For example, maybe not everyone wants to splurge on a 5-star hotel and instead prefer to stay at a hostel or an Airbnb, right? The good thing about group vacation is that oftentimes you are able to receive group discounts for excursions, accommodations, flights, and sometimes even transportations, especially if you plan early enough so your group can take advantage of all the best deals possible. Tip number 3, decide the date, time, and location. Once everyone is aligned with the group dynamics, each other's preferences, and budget, and is fine with proceeding forward to travel with one another for this trip, you can finally move on to the fun, but also challenging part, which is deciding on where to go and when to go. Aligning your schedules and agreeing on one destination can be quite a challenge, which is why pre-planning and having the discussion early is important to help you obtain the best result possible. First, you want to decide on when to go, so gather everyone's availabilities. Once you have each other's availability, confirm the date ASAP, and get your group to block off the date from their calendars or in their planner, whichever helps remind them the best. The reason for this is because you want to avoid someone accidentally double booking with some other plans, which results into either the group having to reschedule the trip again or this person not being able to make it in the end, right? So having the schedule and date saved somewhere that everyone can remember is very important. Second is deciding where to go. This could be done either by everyone taking a survey or putting up one suggestion of where they want to go, followed by each member casting a vote from that list. Make sure everybody truly agrees with the final decision so there are no problems when it comes to future planning. Tip number 4. Pick a group leader. When it comes to group vacation, someone has to take charge and lead the group. It's the easiest way to get things done and stay organized at the same time. Fortunately, every group has someone who naturally fills this role and will likely step up at the very beginning. Seeing that you're watching this video, perhaps that person is you, right? If you're thinking to yourself though, that's a lot of work. Don't worry, I got you covered. In the beginning, and depending on the size of your group, there can be a committee of 2 to 3 people who take the lead on looking for accommodation options, amenities from individuals' wish lists, as well as transportation options, and you get the gist of this. They can then present their findings to the whole group and make a decision together. Once those things are settled, it would then be best to choose one person, maybe you, specifically someone that is experienced and organized who will lead the group from that moment forward. This person would be in charge of booking the accommodations the group agree upon, collecting a down payment from everyone, as well as making those payments to the relevant vendors, organizing local group activities, and more. Now, coming up next, I'll be talking about a couple of tools that I have personally used for my trips, which have been super helpful for my groups. And then I will show you a new app that is going to transform the way that you currently plan and manage your group trips. It's a game changer, super efficient, intuitive, and collaborative to use. So stay tuned for that. But first, like this video and comment down below what other kind of questions you have about planning a trip or traveling with a group. Let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll answer your question in our next video. Tip number 5, leverage existing travel apps. After years of traveling and organizing various group trips for my friends and I have narrowed down my list of favorite apps to use as follows. For finding flights, we have Skyscanner, Hopper, and Google Flights. Skyscanner is a great search engine to find cheap flights and secure the best deals, whether you're booking far in advance or at the very last minute. If you and your group are actually flexible in terms of the dates and the location, this tool can even show you the prices from lowest to highest for countries across the globe. You can also use them to secure hotels and car rentals if you want to. Hopper offers an incredible price prediction technology for future flights and provides you with quality insights about whether or not the ticket price is at a good deal or if you should wait for a better price to come up, which they would then send you a post notification to your phone, if there is one. This app also recently added a couple new features, including travel protection options and price freezes to help you lock in the lowest possible price on that flight, which is amazing. Finally, we have Google Flights, which essentially is a search engine that not only posts the cheapest flights, but also the best flights for travelers. You can search by airline, cost, airport, travel time, and seat type, economy or first class, making it super quick and easy for you to find exactly what you're looking for. Another thing that sets Google Flights apart is the fact that it directly deals with flight carriers as opposed to third parties, which means you have the ability to book and work directly with the airline providers, so no need to worry about hidden costs or additional fees that usually come with third parties. For finding accommodation, we have Hostelworld, Booking.com, Airbnb. If you're traveling on a budget or like to meet like-minded travelers, Hostelworld is a great place to search as they curated 17,000 hostels across 179 countries worldwide for you to choose and directly book from. You can also filter your searches by location, price, room type, facilities, and more. Personally, I use Hostelworld to learn more about the various hostels that are available to where I'm looking for, and then proceed to cross-compare with Booking.com to see which platform provides me with the best deal possible. Booking.com is a world leader in online travel, offering like big savings on hotels, accommodations, attractions, and more. I mainly used Booking.com back when I was traveling across Europe, as I found them to have the best deals and availability possible. Finally, Airbnb. I'm sure everybody is already quite familiar with Airbnb, so I won't go into too much detail, but it is usually my go-to choice when I'm trying to find a place to fit my entire group, usually like 6 and above, or when my group and I are looking for a unique, exotic place to stay at. For example, a hut, a castle, a bamboo house, a villa, a cabin. You kind of get where I'm going with this, right? Yeah, so any exotic places or unique places, I usually go for Airbnb to find those options. For finding excursions, I usually use Get Your Guide or Klook. So Get Your Guide is an online marketplace for you to find, compare, and book sightseeing tours, attractions, excursions, things to do, and fun activities from around the world directly. All you need to do is pop in the city and country you are traveling to along with the dates you are there for, and the platform will create a list of things to do for you, which you can then filter by price, interest, categories, and more. Klook is actually quite similar to Get Your Guide, where you can book travel and leisure experiences. Personally, I use Get Your Guide predominantly when traveling across Europe and Klook when traveling across Asia, as that's where both companies were founded, so a lot more activities and resources are available to those specific regions compared to like across the globe is what I found myself. And finally, for tracking expenses, I use Splitwise and Google Spreadsheets. So Splitwise is the easiest way to share expenses with your travel mates and keep track of who owes who what, so everyone actually gets paid back on time, like actually gets paid back. This app is very intuitive, and it also allows you to split expenses by percentage or shares, as well as suggest repayment methods. It also can be exported to a spreadsheet if you prefer. Which brings me to my final tool, Google Spreadsheets. If you or your travel mates are not interested in downloading another app onto your phone, been there. Google Spreadsheets is an alternative that also is fairly simple to use to keep track of trip expenses and relevant information and accompanying sales. So, yeah. Whew. That rundown actually took a lot longer than I expected. I need a sip of water. Give me a second. Okay, now let's get to talking about the new app that is going to transform the way you plan and manage your group trips. Staying organized from day one is hard, especially when it comes to group vacations. There are just so many things to think about, from booking accommodations and tickets to organizing excursions and planning your meals. Which is why it's always good to utilize a system that can help you stay focused, organized, and on schedule for everything. I'm so pleased to introduce you to, drumroll please, our MiTravel Planning Board. Developed to be an interactive solution superior to spreadsheets and Word documents, the MiTravel Planning Board provides a central space for group travelers to consolidate all their travel inspiration and information with ease. Our web platform aims to lessen the challenge that often comes with group travel planning, such as group indecision, conflict, and disorganized documentations, thereby allowing groups to plan and discuss their upcoming trips more efficiently and intuitively. Have you piqued your interest? Want to gain early access to try out the MiTravel Planning Board before we officially launch later this year? Join our waitlist today and say hello to your new trip planning BFF. Are you curious to learn more about this game-changing platform that is going to make planning your next group trip more efficient, intuitive, and collaborative? Check out this video here where we go over each feature and benefits of using the MiTravel Planning Board in detail. And that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on our new uploads. This is my first video of the series, and I have a few more lined up for you. If you have any other questions about planning a trip or traveling with a group of people, don't forget to leave a comment below, and I will add that to my list of topics to film next. So thank you again for joining me today. I look forward to hearing how your next group trip has gone after implementing these 5 suggestions. Thanks everyone. Bye.